Yo, what's up guys? Now that the tomb has been out for a couple of weeks, I thought, hey, why not talk about it and make a review video about the map? And give you my thoughts about it. What do I like about the map? What do I don't? And my overall experience with it. But before we start, I just want to say thank you. Because I just hit 30,000 subscribers on my channel, and without your support I would never have done that. So honestly, you guys are truly amazing. Thank you so much. But going back to the tomb, well, where do we even start? Well, let's talk about the good things first, right? For starters, visually this map is amazing because I really like the aesthetics of it. Going into the underground area on both sides of the spawn room and just experiencing this kind of chaos type atmosphere, and then having in this opposite area this Origins featuring the Frozen Dawn kind of area with the pillars and the stone walls, it's kinda crazy. Close enough, welcome back the Frozen Dawn. And the Dark Aether Nexus area, by the way, dope ass name, is also amazing. I mean, just look at those huge funguses. That's truly this one specific neat part of the game and story, the Dark Aether environment where the developers can go all out and do whatever they want. Gigantic jellyfish, gigantic mushrooms, you name it. And I'm here for it. The only downside about the Dark Aether Nexus area is the lazy ass skybox. That has a way too low resolution and it just overall looks kinda unfinished. And I've seen a comparison going around with the Tombs skybox and the Revelations one. And I have to totally agree, the Revelations Apothecan's Sun really looked so much better because it was not static, it was actually moving in a way. And yeah, the Tomb one is kinda lazy because it's just one big image. No really details going on and it's like looking kinda lazy. I even like the D-Machine Dark Aether atmosphere more than this, and also the Modern Warfare Zombies ones when you entered the Dark Aether Rifts. How could they fall off from the Dark Aether environment, bro? Like, it's just purple, make it nice looking purple, come on guys. But regardless, overall I would say the atmosphere is still great, because it has some mysterious chaos type vibe going on, and apart from the skybox, it's really nice looking, the overall map. So yeah, let's talk about the second good thing about the map, and that's in my opinion the gameplay. The map is kinda small and has tight corridors, meaning that there's not a really area where you can easily train. I mean, it's still doable to train in some places, right? But it's not as easy as like in this open area from Liberty Falls or Terminus. Here on the tomb, you kinda have to know what you're doing, right? But I kinda like that, this approach to have a smaller map with some tight corridors, with the focus of survival. And apart from the map layout and atmosphere, I also want to give credit to the side Easter eggs on this map, because I feel like they are doing, for the most part, a good job with them, giving a proper reward for completing them. Like for example, the free Pack-a-Punch Easter egg or the free Ether Tool one are amazing. And then we also have the golden armor plate Easter egg, which the reward is amazing. You would want a golden armor plate, right? Here, the problem actually comes with the difficulty of this challenge. I'll get to that in just a moment. But those are actually the only good things that I have to say about this map. The map's atmosphere, the layout, that it's fun to play, and the side Easter egg rewards. Okay, now, so let's talk about the bad stuff, and we kinda have to start with the main Easter egg quest. So in order to complete the main quest, you just have to get the Ice Staff, upgrade the Ice Staff, do some ritual summonings, and then you're ready for the Sentinel Artifact boss fight. That is actually pretty difficult if you don't know what you're doing. But my critique with the main quest is not about the boss fight difficulty. It's about, well, how do I say this? Stay with me here, but the tomb is a co-op unfriendly map. And there's so much to prove this point, starting with the Ice Staff. Because first of all, only one person is able to build the Ice Staff, and in order to collect all parts, you have to do some small lockdowns that are kinda hard to do if you're doing them alone and not with your teammates. So you would want to have some help from your teammates to be actually successful with that. And as if that was not enough, for the final step, you actually have to defend the Ice Staff for a good minute or until you get enough purple zombie kills. And this one is also really hard to do, especially solo. you would want your teammates to actually come to the Dark Ether Nexus area to support you when you do that. And once you are successful with that, only one person can grab the ice staff. And it's like, okay, now what? Because we just spent so much time helping you craft the ice staff. What's in for us, right? What's in for us? Nothing. I mean, try doing that in a public game. It will never happen. The people would actually, first of all, leave before even crafting the ice staff, or they would leave after someone else picks up the ice staff and not them. And should they stay for some unlikely reason and you're actually gonna go for the ice staff upgrade, well, good luck with that, because then there's the next step that requires all 3 people following the orb and getting kills next to the orb. Again, really hard to do, even in solo. You kind of have to know what you're doing, but in a co-op public game, this will never happen because it just requires too much coordination with other people and there's just not enough incentive to actually help the others building the upgraded ice staff because they don't get one themselves. And I know you can just make the argument, maybe they got the ice staff from the mystery box, and from my understanding as of right now, I could be wrong, so just a disclaimer, but I think there's only 2 ice staffs on this map. One that you can build and one that you can get out of the box. And if you're playing with 4 people, 2 of them will not have an ice staff. So they are just in for being a good person to help others. And that's just, it kind of sucks, especially in a public game. You will not see that kind of behavior. Unless, of course, you tell them, hey, let's do the Easter egg and you all just follow me and do what I say, right? But maybe as someone who just wants to boot up the game in the evening to play a few rounds of zombies and you kind of want to go for the ice staff, I don't recommend booting up the Tomb playlist because you're going to have a hard time doing this. Fighting over the ice staff with other people, coordinating with them, it's just too much. You're better off just playing solo. And I know I've talked about how the ice staff basically is like the most co-op unfriendly thing so far, but it doesn't stop there. Because apart from that, there are other points that I want to mention that show how this map is not co-op friendly. Starting with 2 expensive doors on this map. I mean, I could be wrong, maybe it's not that big of an issue, but I feel like compared to the other maps that we got, the doors are really expensive this time around. And in the long term, it's not an issue because eventually some people will buy the doors to progress through the map. So it's maybe an annoyance in the early game, but apart from that, it's fine. And the next thing that I want to mention is the map layout. I was praising the Tomb's small corridor type layout, right, when I talked about the good things. But honestly, if you're playing with 4 people, it's kind of hard to coordinate who gets to train where. Because there's only so many areas that are actually good to train, and maybe you want to go to this place, but there's already someone training there, and you don't want to mess up their spot. So it's like, okay, where do I go? And apart from that, let's talk about going down and reviving players. Of course, that's something that happens eventually, and you want to help those other people that are down because you're just a good player, right? So here's the thing and the problem with this specific map. Imagine if you're playing in the Dark Ether Nexus area, you know, the Dark Ether area where Pack-a-Punch is normally located, and you see that someone goes down. You want to press the map to see where they are so you can coordinate into which portal you're gonna go to help them. But you can't see that because you will only see the map layout of the Dark Ether Nexus area and not the other off-world map. So it's kind of hard to get to the right portal so you can help the other person in time. Now, this is not an issue if you go the opposite direction. Like, for example, if someone goes down in the Dark Ether Nexus area and you are in the normal map, so you can just use any portal to get there because, hey, it's the center of the whole map in this area, right? But yeah, you get the point that I'm trying to make, right? It's kind of hard to find the right portal to help the people in time when you go down. Ultimately, resulting in them just probably leaving. And again, proving my point that the Tomb is a really co-op unfriendly map. The last thing that I want to mention is about the Golden Plate side Easter egg. And yeah, first of all, it's way too difficult. And the fact that they actually patched the score streak exploit where I could kind of cheese this challenge by turning into a mangler, for example, to kill the zombies, is so frustrating because now it's like almost impossible to do. But what I wanted to say about this side Easter egg is there's nothing or no one stopping anyone on your team to actually start the ritual step and to spawn in those beefy HVT zombies, right? So you might as well get some trolls on your game that kind of want to ruin the experience, or maybe they just don't know better because they just saw a YouTube video about this small side Easter egg and thought, hey, let's do it. But in reality, this Easter egg is so hard and difficult that chances are that it will actually end your game. And I've been guilty of doing that myself because in one of my early games, I initiated that lockdown and yeah, needless to say, we all got absolutely destroyed. Finally moving on and talking about the other small things that I kinda don't like about the map, we gonna have to talk about the boss zombies variety and the return of the amalgam, because I know that's been a topic that has been discussed a lot by other people as well, and the overall sentiment is that the amalgam is kinda annoying and it shouldn't have been here on this map as well, because we just get reused zombie types all the time, from the amalgam to the doppelgast to the mimic, which of course is also not a new enemy type, but it's just the first appearance here on BO6. And it kinda sucks, I'm totally on board with that. But after playing a few months, I realized that I really hate the amalgam as a boss zombie. Why? Because of multiple things. Because it can grab you, right? Which is already annoying, but the thing that I really hate more than that is that it's a bullet sponge and it can recover health from eating other zombies. And that's so frustrating because there's nothing more unfun than getting your whole progress wiped while training the zombies. Like, you're shooting the amalgam, you're doing some decent damage, then you just, train a bit more, kill more zombies, and then you look at the amalgam again and it's at full health again. It's so frustrating to have this enemy type because it's not rewarding you for your actual effort into putting damage into it. It just gets its health back. And pair that with a grab attack that can pull you in and let other zombies damage you while doing that, because that's now a thing apparently with this update. So it's so unbelievably broken, and I really don't want to see the amalgam ever again on any other zombie map. It worked perfect for the map Terminus, and it had a place in its story as well. It all made sense, and yeah, here it's just not the right place to be. Because we already got the return of the Mimic on the tomb. The EMP Mimic, I have to say. And by the way, the EMP Mimic can actually destroy your decoy grenades and Casimir devices. So they truly put some thought behind this enemy type, making it a bit more difficult to deal with, which I completely like. It's a really fun challenge to have, because you kind of have to adapt your playstyle with the Mimic. And yeah, you also have the ice staff to deal with special and elite zombies on this map, which of course helps. But overall, I would say remove the amalgam on the map, and maybe if you want to really have elite zombies instead, spawn a elite EMP mimic or doppelgast every now and then, like the ones that we got from the blood sacrifice side Easter egg with the golden armor. But not as beefy as them, of course. But maybe reuse those enemies as elite enemies, so you can still have elite enemies on every zombies map. But don't bring back the amalgam, because it's so annoying. And finally, for the last thing that I have to put on my negative side of things, it's about the outro cutscene and story of the whole map. Because when I played the map, I felt like for the most part, there were not a lot of conversations between our crew members, or even with the off-screen characters like Strauss or Raptor 1, Ravenov. Hell, there wasn't even any mention of Pack in this map. And it kind of felt weird, and it probably has to do with the voice actors strike that's going on right now. And also the outro cutscene felt underwhelming in this case because, like I said, there were no conversations between the crew members. And yeah, pair that with an actual no intro cutscene to the map, it all just kind of feels empty, lazy, or like unfinished. Unfinished is the word I'm going for, yeah. And it kind of sucks, but here we are. having the tomb as DLC 2 in Black Ops 6 Zombies. What's next for Treyarch and Black Ops 6? Well, here's the thing. I've seen people arguing if this was just some smaller filler map between other bigger maps, maybe we will get maybe 3 or 4 other maps along with each season in Black Ops 6. And I'm not entirely sure about that. I wouldn't get my hopes up. I'm actually more inclined to believe that we will only see 2 more round-based maps over this year, and that's about it. Before, of course, we get the next Treyarch game in the fall. And yeah, having the tomb as a fully fleshed DLC 2 would just not do it enough justice, because I feel like it was too unfinished for an actual map release. I don't understand why they would drop the maps, first of all, so early. Like DLC 1 in December was unheard of, and DLC 2 at the end of January, it's also crazy. And I can only think about having Warzone being the central point of the next season as the reason for this early releases, with the return of Verdansk and all of that. But yeah, I really think in Season 3 we will not see any updates for the Zombies mode. That's what I'm afraid of. Maybe we will see DLC 3 in Season 4, and in Season 5 they take another break, and in Season 6 they finish it with the last DLC map. But time will tell us, I guess. But I'm basically done, I think. I've talked enough about the tomb in this video, so if you watched the whole thing, thank you so much for your attention. It means a lot to me, just having people hearing me rant about stuff. I appreciate you all a lot. I hope you can maybe agree with me to some extent about certain things. And yeah, I stand with the point that the tomb is really a co-op unfriendly experience, and it kind of makes the map overall kind of worse than it should be. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.